House Republicans threatening to censure Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett after she made this comment about Governor Greg Abbott. Listen.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey.
Wow. Abbott has been in a wheelchair for over 40 years after a large tree fell and crushed his back while he was jogging. So let's make fun of that, shall we, Jasmine Crockett? She posted on X after getting backlash, not really backing down. She kind of doubled down. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors. I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Wow. Gen Z political commentator Morgonn McMichael joins me now. Morgan, what does it say that this, Jasmine Crockett, is one of the leaders of the Democratic Party right now?
Good morning, Todd. You know, when I'm looking at the story of Jasmine Crockett, I think it's funny how she's speaking at a human rights campaign, and it's just distasteful. You know, I don't think she really cares that the rhetoric that she is spewing is hateful towards Republicans at all. And to be honest, I want to give an example here. When you look at AOC, she's made an entire career, become famous and wealthy off of running her mouth. And I think that Jasmine Crockett's entire persona is made up, and she's trying to do the same thing and follow in those footsteps, run her mouth, make crazy, blatantly disrespectful and disingenuous remarks about Republicans, and she ends up getting the clicks. Because no one really heard of Jasmine Crockett 12 months ago, yet now she is making the headlines for saying such insane things. And you know, she's not new to inciting violence. She continues to do this, talking about Republicans. She made remarks about Ted Cruz. And to me, it's like, as a sitting representative, how can you go out there and talk about your constituents in such a negative way and say that you are all for uplifting everybody, you want positivity in this world, yet you are the reason for inciting violence to a lot of Republicans? You know, it's just very distasteful, and I just see a lot of hypocrisy coming from her and the entire Democratic Party.
I mean, look, it is great for clicks, no doubt, but it is a disaster when it comes to helping the Democratic Party. You look what AOC did. Yeah, AOC had a good election, but you know, they lost the presidency in 2024 in large part to this lurch left from the Democrats that the American people didn't want. Here is how Governor Abbott responded. Take a listen.
The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate, and Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country. Republican states like Texas are leading the way, and with comments like this by Democrats, we will just leave them in the dust in future elections.
Yeah, I think he's right there, Morgan. What do you say?
I think Governor Abbott is exactly correct that she'll probably be primaried out in the next election. You know, she has no room in Texas to continue in touting her rhetoric that she does. And Texas is going to continue on. You know, Greg Abbott has been an incredible governor for years in the state of Texas, and we are going to continue to push forward. I know the Trump agenda within the state of Texas. We've been seeing that border close down. And Jasmine Crockett's remarks, honestly, I don't think hold any weight within the state of Texas or even federally. I think it's honestly for attention, and no, she doesn't care about the disaster of the Democratic Party that she is continuing to push.
Yeah, that's an important clarification. It's not like with comments like that and with an overall personality and approach to politics that she has, that she's going to win statewide office in the red state of Texas. Not going to happen. But not to be outdone, Morgan, let's take a listen to California Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
If he wants to start looking so closely to find those who were born here and their parents were undocumented, maybe he ought to first look at Melania.
I mean, that comment demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of immigration, specifically Trump's approach to deportation, considering that Melania became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 2006, Morgan.
Right. I think this is one of the examples of, Democrats lost the election, so they're going to have as many low blows to Republicans as possible. So now you see Maxine Waters standing in front of a big crowd saying that we need to deport Melania Trump is blasphemous behavior coming from the left. And this isn't anything new. They're going to continue to hit those low blows as many times as they can. I think we can't let this phase us as a party, as a people, and just continue to try and spill the truth. You know, the Democrats love to twist President Trump's words with what his deportation policies are, and we see that there are violent criminals being deported every single day. And the idea that the left would even want to even entertain Melania Trump being deported is just blasphemous and disrespectful.
Morgonn McMichael, thank you for joining us here on a Wednesday morning. We appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.